Standing over the fresh grave of your only child is a nightmare that shatters your soul, but nothing prepares you for the moment your own family turns into a pack of wolves. As the final prayers faded, my daughter-in-law stepped into my path, her eyes cold and entirely empty of grief. Without a hint of hesitation, she demanded that I pack my belongings and clear out of her house by nightfall. She openly branded me a helpless charity case in front of the remaining mourners, unaware that her entire reality was built on a massive lie. My name is Arthur Pendleton, and the very roof she was banishing me from was a home I designed and paid for with my own sweat decades ago. For nearly 10 years, she had enjoyed a life of absolute luxury funded entirely by my quiet generosity, all while treating me like an inconvenient nuisance. Instead of causing a scene or trading insults on the worst day of my life, I chose absolute silence. Sometimes, stepping back is the most devastating move you can make, especially when a hidden paper trail is about to dismantle someone's arrogance. The warning signs had been mounting for years, but my love for my son had blinded me to the rot beneath the surface. When my boy Russell perished in a sudden highway collision a few weeks prior, his wife Beatrice instantly seized control of the narrative. She insisted on managing every single detail of the memorial services, which really meant she wanted me completely sidelined and silenced. During the planning sessions, she rejected every single memory I tried to share, including the simple songs Russell and I loved while building our family home. Beatrice commanded the funeral home like an executive running a corporate seminar, draped in a designer gown that cost more than my monthly expenses. I sat quietly in the back corner wearing my faded Sunday suit, feeling like a ghost at my own son's farewell. The true betrayal unfolded during the gathering afterward. Right inside the kitchen, had meticulously remodeled with my late wife. Beatrice cornered me near the pantry, blunt and dismissive, stating that my comfortable ride was officially over now that her husband was gone. She claimed that Russell had been entirely funding my existence and that she refused to carry a useless financial burden moving forward. She declared the house hers, insisting that everything Russell owned now belonged exclusively to her according to his final wishes. I simply nodded my head, letting her believe she had completely broken my spirit while my mind calculated her upcoming downfall. Beatrice had absolutely no idea that Russell never held the title to the property, nor did she know about the massive archive downstairs. For decades, my professional background as a senior accountant meant I preserved every single receipt, deed, and financial ledger in a locked basement cabinet. The neighbors watched Beatrice play the grieving yet stoic widow, offering her condolences while she painted me an incompetent old man who lost his grip on reality. She whispered to our oldest friends that I was completely unable to grasp basic finances, pretending she was doing a noble deed by tolerating me. She mistook my simple lifestyle and old truck for desperation, assuming loud confidence always wins. By the time the final guests departed that evening, Beatrice blocked the exit to give me a final ultimatum regarding my living arrangements. I looked around the hallways I had painted, the custom crown molding I had shaped, and quietly agreed to her demands. The following morning brought an incredible sense of focus as I sat at the wooden table with a fresh cup of coffee. I began listing the assets she thought she was inheriting, starting with the property value she estimated at over $400,000. She was also counting on a massive corporate life insurance payout, already allocating the funds for her own personal desires. What truly stung was her systematic attempt to erase our family history by packing away my late wife's portraits and Russell's childhood awards. She handed me an official type document giving me exactly 30 days to vacate the premises, recommending a cheap studio apartment on the edge of town. She suggested I rely on government assistance and food stamps, completely convinced she held every single card in this game. Beatrice assumed that because Russell managed our daily household accounts, he was the one providing the actual wealth. She never realized that the money keeping their household afloat was actually my own capital flowing through a complex family trust. On Friday morning, I finally descended into the basement sanctuary to retrieve the ironclad proof that would alter the course of our lives. Opening the lower drawers of the steel cabinet, I pulled out the original 1987 land purchase agreement and the deed, all bearing my name alone. Deep within the vault lay the foundational documents of the Pendleton Family Estate Trust, holding a guaranteed balance exceeding $800,000. The trust explicitly stated that I remained the sole trustee and owner of all properties, while Russell was merely a lifetime beneficiary. Furthermore, the corporate life insurance policy she was relying on was legally designated to flow directly back into my trust, not her personal account. Beatrice had spent years building a glamorous future on a foundation that belonged entirely to the man she despised. The following Sunday, Beatrice crossed the line by bringing a group of local real estate agents into my home to discuss modern renovations. They walked through the rooms discussing walls they wanted to demolish, treating me like a temporary tenant who was already gone. Rather than exploding in anger, I spent Monday morning with my attorney drafting an immediate eviction notice for Beatrice. We structured the delivery perfectly, ensuring the legal reality would shatter her illusions just days before her self-imposed deadline for my departure. When the courier finally delivered the legal packet, Beatrice stormed into the kitchen, her face twisted in absolute fury and disbelief. She screamed that the documents were fraudulent, threatening to involve the authorities until I calmly directed her to review the certified title deeds. As she read the official stamps, the color drained from her face, and she realized she was the one who had 30 days to pack. Sometimes, silence truly is the most powerful response, and today, my home was finally peaceful once again.